We're here with Duncan Currie, legal advisor to the Deep Sea Conservation Coalition. Duncan, this week we've been hearing a bit about how deep sea fishing on the high seas may now be considered IUU fishing, or illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Could you tell us a little bit more about why this is so and why this is important?
Yes, Mark. The United Nations, both in 2006 and 2009, negotiated a very extensive set of measures that countries and organisations which regulate fisheries have to take if they are to catch deep sea fish. These are measures such as undertaking assessments of the area to make sure that vulnerable ecosystems are not damaged or destroyed, and that the deep sea fish stocks are not depleted, because deep sea fish can live many years, many decades in age, and don't start reproducing until in many cases they're 30-40 years old. So they're very easily depleted. So these requirements are universally acknowledged by states to be things that they should do. No country says, well, I'm not going to implement these. But what has happened is that the UN in 2009 said very clearly that a country which does not implement these measures, for example, doesn't carry out an assessment or doesn't properly protect the deep sea stocks, should not authorise their vessels to go fishing. And they said this in really clear language. So what this means in simple terms is that a country or a vessel which is flying the flag of a country which catches deep sea fish in violation of these requirements is actually doing so illegally or as an unregulated vessel. In other words, it's IUU. And what that means in really simple terms is that that vessel should not be able to land its fish at a port that unloads the fish and sends them off to the market, or indeed should not be able to unload the fish and sell them in a country which recognises that illegally or IUU fish should not be sold in the market. So this is countries are increasingly realising this, and the message that the Deep Sea Conservation Coalition is putting out is that countries have had many years to comply. They've had since 2006 to put these measures in place. They were reminded in 2009, we're now in 2011, and it is beyond time that these measures were implemented. It is past time for this to happen. They're out of time, and so therefore we are putting the message out loudly and clearly that fish caught in violation of these two critical UN resolutions is and must be treated as IUU fish and should not be landed, should not be sold.